Hi guys, so as you can probably guess from the title and thumbnail of this video, I am basically banned from YoWorld forums, which is no surprise to me, but maybe a surprise to a few other people. But basically what happened a couple of nights ago, I made a thread on forums and I basically tried to call out a certain individual player without directly putting his name in it, and basically I titled the thread as "Kids Trying to Run the Game on the New Alex Hair." So for those of you who don't know, there is recently been a load of contest designers winners items being put into the game, and one of them in particular was Alex's streaked hair. It was the rare one out of the box, and I know people were paying like up to 300 Yocash before they even got it. And when it first came into store, it was selling for like 2 to 3 million within the first hour, and then it went straight up to about 6 to 7 million. And it stayed at that price while it was sort of on the timer. The mystery box was on a timer, and then of course it left store. Within the first hour of it leaving store, I was sort of on YoWorld all of that day, and it was between 7 to 10 million it was selling for, both in auction house and events. And then a couple of hours later, a group of individuals who are well known in the game, they play YoWorld, they're always in trade centres and auctions, basically started posting events saying that they were selling the Alex hair, and they were selling it for 14 million and they were selling it for 15 million. And one of them was on my buddy list, who was Danny. He's in A to Z group, and I'm just going to play this because I basically recorded it the other night, so you guys will probably see some of the drama that was going on. But he was on my buddy list, and I always assumed he was a friend of mine because we'd always speak in private messaging. However, a few things had been sort of going on recently, and I've sort of taken a step back and realised that all of these people who I thought were my friends on the game were just using me for virtual coins and virtual pixelated items and not for me. And I basically privately messaged him and asked, hey, how much is the Alex hair, out of curiosity? And he messaged me back and put 14 mil. I've got like, I think he said he had 4 to sell and his friend had 6 to sell, and both him and his friend were selling it for 14 mil. And I replied back to him. I was like, is this a joke? Like, what are you on about? Like, it's literally selling for 10 million in auction house and in events, and you're the only two people that are selling it. Like, I don't see any buying events for it. And he's like, we'll check auction house and have a look in auction house. And I went into auction house, and there was a hair, the Alex streaked hair, that had bids on it for between, I think it was at like 13 million or 12 million or something, and it had a couple of bids on it. And then there was like other Alex hairs that were in auction for like 10 and 11 million, and they had no bids. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I know you. I have been friends with you for a while. I know the people that you're friends with. I have been in this circle of like rich people and going to trade centers and trying to run the game and make all the profit. And basically, I know how it works. You tell your friends that you're putting it in auction house, and then 2 of your friends bid themselves up on the hair so it looks like it's selling for that price. You end up giving them the coins and you lose 10% interest from auction house, but in total you're making more because you're sticking the other hairs that you've got in auction house for lower, and they're selling straight away. And it's just a money making scam. So it really frustrated me, the fact that these people were just literally trying to run this price of the hair up, and it hadn't even been 48 hours of it being out. And I was a bit like, I would understand if there was more than just your group of people trying to jack the hair up, but literally it was Danny and his friends, and nobody else was trying to jack it up. So I went ahead and made a thread, as you guys saw in that video, basically calling these people out, but indirectly. I put children are trying to run it. I think children or kids. I can't remember which one it was that I said. Kids trying to run the game, because these people are under the age of 21. I'm only 20. I mean, it's my birthday tomorrow, so I turn 21 tomorrow. However, I still class myself as a kid, you know. I still live at home with my parents up until like recently, and I'm sorting myself out and I'm getting my life on track now. And I just think to myself, you are still a child. I don't care what people say. I would class anyone under the age of 21 as a child, especially if people like that are from the States and stuff, because obviously you can't really do much until you're like 21 because you can't drink and stuff. Obviously, it's different laws in different countries. But I just class everyone as a child. And when I made this thread, people were commenting and agreeing on the pricing and the jacking it up, because people were like, yeah, like we saw it selling for 10 mil. I paid 10 mil like 2 minutes ago, or I bought it for like 10 or 9 mil in an auction house. And people were admitting like that isn't the price that it's selling at, and these people are trying to jack it up. But then a couple of people, a small minority of people, were basically saying, isn't it a little bit rude of you to say kids are trying to run it? I hate that people always target the rich people as kids, or try and target the people that are running events as kids. And I understand maybe I shouldn't have used the word kids, but that's just me as a person. That's how I use it. And the fact is, that is the truth. Like, most of these people who have these events up at the moment are under the age of 21 and are therefore classed as a child or a teenager or whatever you would like to call them. So for me, I kind of understand that I probably shouldn't have used the word kids, but at the same time, it sort of makes sense because they are under the age of 21. And so I can understand a few people getting a little bit agitated, and I try to express that in the forum's replies, and I try to express, like, I understand that it may be frustrating. I'm only 20 and I'm rich on the game, and, you know, I see people talking about it all the time and saying stuff like that, and it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't care. I'm just like, yeah, cool, whatever. Like, if I did something wrong and I knew that I did something wrong and it offended me, then probably. But I've never done anything wrong, so it doesn't bother me. If someone was to call me a child, I'd be like, cool, congratulations, that's fine. Like, just take it on the chin and move along. But obviously, some of these people weren't. And this thread was going on for, like, onto page sort of 3, and this guy hadn't commented on it. And then I noticed that another individual, who I'm not going to mention any names at this point, commented, and I've got a feeling that that person basically told Danny, hey, Emma Z has made a thread about you. It's probably directed at you. You should check it out. And then he started commenting, and his comments reflected upon his age and his maturity, because the comments were like, oh, you're crying because you didn't buy it when it was cheap. Oh, you're crying because you're missing out in the profit. And I'm literally sat there thinking to myself, no. Everyone in this game probably knows that 7 million for a hair, 10 million for a hair, 50 million for a hair, that is nothing to me. I could quite easily go and pay that for a hair. Obviously, I am rich in the game, so I can afford that. And both me and him know that. So I was a bit like, I'm not crying over it. I'm literally to the point where I used to be friends with all of you people, and ever since I got banned on Facebook and lost my YoWorld account, all of these groups of people who I hung out with, I helped jack prices up occasionally. I helped them buy and sell overpriced items. I helped them find really rare items for cheap and then sell them on. I helped these people all the time, and I would always talk to these people. And then I get banned, and I get back on the game, and people like Hugs, who was like classed as my little brother on the game, goes as far as removing me. People like Danny, other people like him, I'm not going to mention any more names at this point, but a lot of them people basically just went as far as not bothering to talk to me, privately message me and say, hey, welcome back. None of them bothered to say, hey, what actually happened? How did you lose your account? None of them went as far as even replying to the thread I had on forums and privately messaging me on forums, even though they seem to coincidentally be able to comment on this thread that has now got me banned. And that right there is just what has really frustrated me over the past couple of days, because these people didn't care about me when I was gone, and then because I'm no longer helping and supporting them in their money greedy sort of scheming plot on the game, they're now trying to like boot me out of it. And I completely understand that the thread was a little bit inappropriate. It could have been worded better. Some of the arguments that me and Danny got into did get a little bit heated, but it didn't involve anyone else other than me and Danny. And one of his other friends who kept commenting on it, saying, "Oh, I'm only a child. I'm a child then, and I've got the hair," or something like that. His other friend was commenting on it too, and I was a bit like, "Mate, this has got nothing to do with you. Back out of it." But yeah, I basically tried to reply back to a comment that was on the thread, and then the thread got deleted, and then I got logged out. So when I go onto forums now and I try to log in with Facebook, I get this, oh, okay, it takes me to a login page, but basically what happens is I get the displayed message saying, "Hey, you've been logged out, you've been disabled." It's on this video that I recorded, the message basically saying you got banned, and it doesn't even give me a reason as to why I got banned, which is a little bit frustrating because obviously I don't know, is this a long-term ban, is this a short-term ban? So I did contact the link here that says YoWorld at BigVikingGames.com to basically just ask, hey, can I get unbanned? Because I do spend a lot of my time on forums. I'm forever, giving out giveaways, inputting on feedback of new items, thanking BVG when they give 10 to 1 YoCash deals, constantly trading in the trading section, and just genuinely being quite a nice person. A lot of people know me on forums as a nice person. I've never done anything negative to anyone apart from that one thread, and it was directed at that one person who was replying to it. BVG did reply back. It took them a little longer than expected, of course. I think it was over 48 hours before I even got a reply back. And they basically told me it's a short-term ban, so I basically got banned for 7 days. So I'll be back on it on the 1st of August, but basically take it as a warning. So I now know not to sort of go off on a rant because obviously BVG don't care. They're there for like keeping it calm and civil, which kind of annoys me because Danny was also like being quite disrespectful, quite rude, quite immature. He was being quite as bad as what I was, sort of thing, and he didn't get banned. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this guy doesn't even use forums that much, and I get banned and chucked off the forums, but he didn't. And then what made it even worse was then he actually decided to come to me later on that night, which I also recorded the full thing, and he joined me in game through another mutual friend that we had, and first of all, started chatting shit to me, excuse my language. He basically was talking a load of crap to me, and was laughing that I got banned off forums and he didn't, ha 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 ha. And then I sort of just got to the point where I was like, I'm not even going to bother speaking to him anymore. I went a little bit AFK, and someone else came in the room who wanted to join his group A to Z, and I recorded that because I found it quite hilarious that, in case you guys didn't know, it's not a family group. It's it's a wealth group, so they don't care about you for your personality. They don't care for you for your sort of friendships and your respectfulness. They only care about wealth. They only care about you wearing worthable items that are worth over 200 million coins. They don't care about furniture. They don't care if you've got it in coins. They want to see you wearing 200 million worthable items on your little avatar in clothing to be able to join that group. So in case you guys didn't know, there's some sneak preview. I am going to do another video on calling out players, rich players who are in events, who are backstabbers, users, price jackers, pedophiles. I'm going to call them all out, I think, because I don't care at this point. Bullies even. And I'm also just going to quickly wrap this up with the fact that I basically begged BVG the weekend just before that has gone, and I made a thread begging BVG to have a blocking system on forum, because I have a lot of these rich players now blocked in YoWorld because of the way they treated me, the way they were like backstabbing me, the way some of them were bullying me and verbally giving me a load of verbal abuse and stuff. So I banned a lot of these players, I blocked a lot of these players, and basically I noticed that a few of them were coming to forums, and I'm not going to lie, forums is my space. I love it. I have so many nice, friendly people on there, and I've never, ever done anything negative. This is the first time I've ever done something negative, and I basically just wanted to be able to block these people on forums so they couldn't reply to my threads and they couldn't privately message me. People were like, oh, BVG don't work weekends, and you're probably best to ask midweek. I never ever got a reply off BVG for that, and I just think it's a little bit disrespectful for BVG to not even have something in place for that, but have it in place for the game. So that kind of pissed me off. The same goes for Danny not being banned, but I did. And then just to finish this off, there was this thread made with the people that Danny hangs out with on forums a little bit later on, after I got booted off, after he came and tried to make a laugh and a joke and take the piss out of me for being banned on the game. They then made this thread, and I went down, and the first comment was, I see hairjackers. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, now BVG goes as far as booting me off for calling people out for being hairjackers. BVG go as far as deleting the thread because of it. People are commenting saying that these people are hairjackers, and this thread gets kept open. In fact, it went as far as to get a Vikings comment laughing and joking, and Vikings going and seeing these people, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, is this some sort of joke now? Do Vikings not care, at all? They're supporting these people who are trying to ruin the game, be bullies, and just, shove me in the corner. So, I mean, I'm still supporting the game. Obviously, I bought the Yoko shield that came out last night, which was 10-1 for $10. So I'm still buying into the game, but I'm at the point where I'm a bit I feel like the Vikings are sort of backstabbing me. All of these players are nothing but fake people who literally are stabbing people in the back, left, right, and center, just for virtual coins and virtual wealth. And so I'm going to make a video. I probably don't know whether that's allowed or not, but it's not on YoWorld. It's on a different platform. It's going to be on YouTube. And I'm going to call these people out who I have been friends with for years. Some of them I've only known for a couple of months. Some of them I've known since this year. And I'm going to call all of these people out. And I'm going to tell you the top ins and outs of how people get rich on the game, how people sort of control the prices, how it all works, what it's like to be in that environment of being around the rich people. Because honestly, they make it look all happy. You go into an auction, they all say hi, and they give you hugs, and they give you kisses, and they give you hearts. But in actual fact, not one of them actually cares about you. So yeah, that's the rant over with for this video. I will get my account back on the 1st of August, so be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below if you've ever been banned before, or if you guys are happy to see me calling out players and exposing what it takes to be in groups that claim to be family-friendly groups but actually only care about wealth. So if you guys want to see some of them, give this video a thumbs up and comment below, because I am at my wit's end with this game. I feel like the Vikings at this point don't care, and I feel like players obviously don't care because I got banned, even though I begged for BVG to do something prior to that. So yeah. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you guys have a good day. Goodbye.